Okay, for the purpose of the recording, I typed this out. This is a lab to create user accounts. So just to get people started, what we're going to do is copy one custom scale directory. So I'm going to go to my virtual machine that I've cleaned out, and then I'm signed in as root. So I'm going to copy recursively, meaning not only copy the directory, but copy all the files in the directory. Etsy scale to Etsy scale cells. Now if I list all along Etsy scale cells, it has all these files in it. So for scales, I just want you to create a directory called sales data. Make dir. This is how I'm customizing the skeleton directory for cells. Cells. Now list long Etsy scale cells. I'll see it there. Guys, I'm going to show my history. Sorry, this was a mistake. So this customizes the directory. This shows what's in it. This creates a directory.
So copy will create a directory if it's not there?
Yeah, it'll copy. We're going to copy Etsy scale. Whatever's in Etsy scale, we're just going to make a duplicate of it. Because we don't want to customize our original skeleton directory. We only want to create a copy and customize that. Remember, this is kind of like the default user account in Windows. Every time you create a new user and default user, it copies what's in that folder.
Where did you put it at?
In D2L, under content, there's something called practice, and there's a lab there.
Awesome.
Create another custom folder and the parts using full Etsy scale text, which I believe we done.
And I've been trying to.
Yeah. Oh no. This is the personally fixing the skill text. But we didn't create a directory, so we didn't actually do it. So is that?
Let me pause the video. I'll come right back to that. Okay, so I'm going to copy recursively, meaning the Etsy scale and everything in Etsy scale to Etsy scale text. VI, look, guys, I'm asking you to customize it by creating a custom alias. So I'm going to go into that directory. Guys, a lot of you will make mistakes and forget this leading slash. If you do, you're supplying the relative path. So you're going to be looking for an etc directory in your current directory, not under home, not under the root rather. So bash rc. That's the file that controls aliases. So once I'm going to give you a minute to get with me. Okay. So I'm going to press enter, go to the bottom. What puts me in insert mode below my current line? Oh. So I'm going to do alias ipconfig equal IP adder. And I'm putting it around single quotes. How do I get out of insert mode? How do I save and quit? Colon WQ or Shift ZZ. So I just went to the bottom, press no, then put me in insert mode right here. Type that line, press escape to get out of insert mode, colon to get your extended command mode. And I'll type WQ to right quit. Underneath is O. Just type the O character. No, you already go all the way to the bottom. Escape. Now, I can't say something there. Go to the bottom. Colon Q back. The dot.
Solo estuvo, ¿no? Solo estuvo que hubiese el Kotlin, por eso el Kotlin la pobreza, ¿no?
environmental variable. Is that what that means, right? Hold.
Well, then, we'll go like we did the last one where we had to do the whole IQ thing. So I mean, this will take us to that's the different options. Or we'll then, we will get something from dollar sign and then
Basically, I would want a
because we want to file that you're going to
raw string signature. Like enclosing your signature as a raw string. We want to execute the command. If you really want to get technical,
We're in the increases, you know, that's everything's as long as this is right.
when you refer to
Now
it,
it's actually create a
you
user.
put the dollars, if you set it, you take the dollars.
That's where you stop.
And we want to export to all shells. Because if you don't export it, it's only good for your current session. If you export it, it's good for all sessions.
So with the next one, it would be similar to the one above it, but instead of doing a bash RC, you do the bash underscore profile to get into the environmental.
Right.
And then are you gonna create an alias singular to do it?
No, we're going to create an environmental variable. Guys, I'm going to do the third one. So I'm going to copy Etsy scale to Etsy scale engineers. Now this time I don't want an alias, I want an environmental variable. So I'm going to vi Etsy scale engineers dot bash underscore profile. This is where environmental variables are stored. Let me verify I'm recording. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm still recording.
That's when you create the logo. So the VI, Etsy scale, engineers, so it says dash CR. Engineers and it's dash underscore profile.
So once can I go in? Or do you, raise your hand if you want me to hold off. Okay, so I'm going to go to the end, press O to go to insert mode below my current line. Do you want me to go back one? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to press Q bang just to get out. That means don't save.
Exclamation mark.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that.
That's one thing.
You gotta do it. Here, and then go out. So
You have a typo. Listen. If you don't copy it properly, you're not going to be able to edit the file. Or if you have a typo here, guys, typos will kill you in this course. One little space, one missing dot, it's a completely different file. So I'm going to go, can I hit enter? And then we're going to go into login. What did I have the variable called? Logged in.
Yeah, logged in.
Equals, this time guys, I don't want to save a string. I want to execute another command. So if I put a command inside of round brackets with a dollar sign in front of it, it's going to execute this command, take the output, and save it in this variable. And when I export it, all my sessions will have that variable available to them.
So every time a user logs in, you're just gonna, it's gonna execute what.
When I say echo $ logged in, it'll show me the date that they logged in. Escape. Right quit. I'm gonna go back in there just so you can see it. But I just wanna, I'm gonna pause the video. But first, guys, I did this. All this is done now. This is easy. Before you do this, through here, you need to do something else that I didn't put on this list. I'm going to try to let you figure it out. I'm going to pause the video and go back to the other screen. Before I create user accounts, I need to have my skeleton in place. I need to have this subdirectory in place. And I need to have my groups created. So I've already customized my 3 skeletons.
Done that.
So what I'm going to do now is make dir home cells. The nice thing about the make dir directory, I can put in multiple directories I want to make. Home, text, home, engineers.
So it doesn't just do other options or anything, it just keeps going. You make as many directories as you want.
Right.
That's what's up.
Guys, there is a limit. A command cannot exceed 256 characters. If it does, you can run a special command saying there's arguments and add additional stuff. I'm not doing that. But right now, I'm just creating the 3 subdirectories I want to store my home folders in. Group, add, now I'm creating my group, cells, text, and engineers.
You can't do that the same way you did?
No.
No? Or would it work?
No, I could do this. I can run 2 commands on the same line, separating them by a semicolon.
What's the limit on that?
Again, any command do not exceed 256 characters.
So when I tried to, after we did that, I went back to, I pressed that and to get to that full line, and it says user one already exists, so I guess I already created the user.
User del -R to delete their home folder. So let's just say I made a mistake. User add U1. Let's say I created this user account and I screwed it up and I want to delete it. Not only do I want to delete it, I want to delete the home folder as well. User del delete the home folder. I guess it's kind of like recursive to delete a user account.
And after we checked that, it came up with, usually U1 mail spool, variable spool, not found.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
It tried to delete the home folder but didn't exist.
And
No
now
big
I
deal.
went back and pressed that and did the
Run
whole
that
big.
command.
No, the last 3 commands were answering questions. I'm going to run multiple groups and create multiple groups online. That's how you do it. Someone says, what if you made a mistake when you created a user account?
No.
How do you delete it?
the best way. So I created the user account,
That's what I'm trying to do.
group,
It might be.
the whole folder,
I'm not
but I forgot the custom step.
The
Is there a way to add
environment-
that to the command line to delete the entire?
Delete. Because it copied the default scale when it created that home directory, not your custom. If need be, you can manually edit that user's custom, that home folder. I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. Let me ask you this. Do I need to leave this on my screen for a couple more minutes? Yes? Anyone? You guys speak now.
1 second.
Okay.
So it's everything that was included.
That R means,
First,
yes, in my head, I think of it as a person, but it really means if the user's home folder exists, wipe it out as well. I can delete a user account and leave all the files. If I delete, if I don't use the -R, it leaves all the files in place.
Oh, so if like someone was leaving behind material for like another employee to use?
You can use this on the Mac.
Right.
what is the minus? Yeah.
Incidentally, guys,
Minus M.
especially with encrypted files, never delete user accounts when someone gets fired or let go or leaves. Disable the account. Because if they encrypted any files, when you recreate that user, it's not really the same user.
Once
You know, it has a different user ID. So never delete a user account, always disable it. Leave your files in place. If you need to, you can re-enable it, reset their password to get into their
It
account.
pops up as yours missing command.
So if you have to recover any files, that's an easier way to do it. I work for the school, we're a state organization. We have laws. In fact, we're not allowed to delete. We have to keep it for 7 years. So, there might be laws preventing you from deleting it.
Which one is the main directory, right?
I think so.
Has anyone ever heard of the Sunshine Law?
Is to be the subdirectory?
Basically, if you want to know how much I get paid, you can write to the state and say, how much does Brian Ferris get paid? And they have to, you write to the state and say, I want to see all Brian Ferris's emails, they have to give it to you. Okay.
You might as well just tell us. Set up the wall, I'm gonna find out anyway, right?
You're going to find out anyways, but I like to see you make the effort. Shows me your care. Okay, so guys, do you see that I've created my skeleton directories, customized? I created the subfolders where I'm going to store my home folders, and I created the groups.
Right.
Now I want to create a group, store the home folder in that location, set the friendly name, add them to be a member of the sales group, and when I create the home folder, I want it to be based on this skeleton, not the default. So I'm going to do user add. I'm going to make the home folder home, sales, U1. I'm going to add them to the group called sales.
Oh, you didn't put the friendly name in there?
I could put the friendly name in here. The order is not important for most commands. The skeleton will be Etsy scale sales, and the user account name is always at the end.
So you can't do like the K hyphen M hyphen D hyphen G hyphen C hyphen K all together, or do you have to do it like spread out? Like
Well, we have to specify the options.
I could do this.
Unless it's multiple options for one item.
I could do this, but the thing is, if that option has any data related to it, the next option has to have the hyphen again. So there's an option. This would work, but I'm just trying to not confuse people by saying there's an option called MD. It's not. There's one called M, there's one called D.
So what does this do? Just add.
This creates a user account, stores our home folder in that directory,
Right.
adds into that group, creates a friendly name, bases the home directory off of that skeleton. So let's look at that.
What is the minus K again for?
Skeleton. Okay, so I'm going to list all along Etsy, no, home, cells, U1. Not only can I see that I can see my custom directory. That didn't turn out the way I wanted, but I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to cat Etsy group. I can see that U1 is a member of the sales group. And if I cat Etsy password, I can see the friendly name is set to user 1. So what's the command to create user 2? What group are they part of?
Text.
So I'm going to do user add. Okay, what group are they part of? So secondary group is text. -G. Where's their home folder stored?
Home/text.capital/U2.
Home, text, U2. What skeleton directory do I use?
Etsy/engineers. Or text is
Their full name and the user account name. User account name always has to go at the end. I can mix anything else up I want. Guys, text has to come after capital G. But I could put this G at the end and then text right after. And what is the last user account?
Engineers. You ever tweak names up and then change?
I could.
Make
That's
it-
what I did.
I'm mixing things up so people don't say, oh, this has to be before that.
Oh.
So user 3, skeleton, Etsy scale, engineers, and their home folder. Look at this.
And then you would do a -7.
So K specifies your home folder.
No, specifies the skeleton directory I'm going to base our home folder on.
Okay.
User 3 C, no,
Don't you need to do the -M somewhere?
Yeah, the dash in, dash D.
the -M doesn't have to be at the right next to D.
No, I'm saying.
It can be anywhere.
I'm saying, do you need to put it somewhere? Is there everything there?
Yeah,
G, text. Mine was G, engineers.
dash
Dash G.
G. What is lowercase g?
That's groups.
Primary groups.
Instead of secondary.
So
That
couple
would be a
G's,
secondary.
couple G's would be that.
For I in U1, U2, U3, do echo password into the password command standard in $I, done.
Make a password for all the users' names.
$.
I'm doing a loop. For the first time through the loop, I, $I, remember I set it here, I use it here. So when I set it, I don't put the $. So what I'm saying here is, first time through the loop, I will be U1. So I'm going to run this command, echo password into the password command, get it from standard in for U1. Second time through the loop, $I will be U2. Third time through the loop will be U3. So, as opposed to me doing this command, right now it's only three accounts, but if I had 50 accounts, I could have done this 3 times. Echo, password, standard in, U1, then U2, U3. Or I could have just did password U1, then typed the password twice. I'm going to show history now. There's my history. I still have 2 more things I have to satisfy. Guys, remember, when we get to our midterm, like 3 weeks away, this is just going to be user accounts. There's still other things you're going to have to do on that test.
Permission and stuff. Yeah, but check my user three is not running. It's not working.
Okay, well, tell me the error.
It just lists the help.
So you have a typo. Doesn't understand.
Okay, wait.
This specifies the tax in the home folder. Right?
No, that's specified the temporary directory. That's the home.
That's specified the home folder.
K is what you're going to copy from. So you're going to copy from there to here, then give that user permission.
And G is the primary.
Is the secondary. Okay, so hit enter. So, here's what we did last time.
About the 4 loop, you just write the 4
Right. The for loop, guys, again, first time through the loop, U1 is assigned to I. Second time through the loop, U2 is assigned to I. Third time through the loop, U3 is assigned to I. So first time I go through the loop, it'll echo password to the password command, U1, then U2, then U3. So everything between the do and the done is my loop, is the engine of that loop.
What if it's like 50 accounts? So you and you want.
These are the elements in the loop. So this loop will go through 3 times. If I have 50 names here, right. And a lot of times, I can execute a command here to get all the names to put in that loop. I'm going to try to dim the lights a little more.
Yeah.
Is that better?
So, on the last part of it, where it says you need to add you to the sales group and the engineers group.
I'm going to get to that too. Look, it's saying right here, you're missing this part. You got to put the username always last.
I didn't know.
Look, for the third one, it kind of separates it into 2 lines, but it's really 1 line.
I did, my comments I did.
Then you're missing something else.
Look, my command was 1, 2, and then 3 at the end.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Not one.
Oh.
I didn't get the echo. I just authenticated successfully.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that line.
I was showing you, do it this way or this way.
And you type out 3 times.
Right. So I'm trying to show you how you can avoid doing this with 400 user accounts.
Yeah, but you still kind of have to type out the user accounts. Or you can pull it from a text, right?
I can pull it from a text. Look, I can even do some logic to it by saying if the user account is greater than 1,000. But look, so if I cat etc password, here's all my user accounts. So if I do tel-n3 etc password, it only shows me the last 3 accounts. Cut delimiter is a colon, field 1. There's my 3 accounts. So I could do for I in dollar. Remember, I'm going to execute this command. If I put something in $ brackets, I can execute a command. So instead of having to type the user accounts, it'll be those user accounts. It'll be U1, U2, U3, like over here. That will be elements in my loop. And I can say do, done, no. I'm just going to echo $1 just to show you, $I, just to show you what it is. But I could have put my command, my password command instead of here, this. So you can run a command to generate that list of user accounts as opposed to mainly hard coding them.
Right.
If your boss gives you a text file and says, emails you a text file and say, create these 75 user accounts, you can just grab that email and just use it from there. Okay, guys, the last 2 things. Make U1 the administrator of the sales group, U2 the administrator of the text group, and U3 the administrator of the engineers group. How can I do that? I can add users using user mod to groups, but I can't make them the administrator. Lowercase a adds them to a group, uppercase A adds them as an administrator. U1 and the group name is sales.
So that's how you add them as an administrator?
That's how I make them as an administrator.
Does the same thing work for G-password?
I'm sorry?
Does the same thing work for G-password?
That's what I'm using.
Oh. Bless you.
I cannot. Gpassword is the only way to make a user an administrator, unless I manually edit
I'm
the.
not sure we're using user mod.
Unless you do it, like graphical.
The user mod adds them to a group, right?
I don't know if there's a graphical utility.
Well, bless you. So what's the capital A versus lowercase a? I mean,
A makes them an administrator. B adds them as a user to that group.
But lowercase a appends something instead of
when I add
administrator.
when I add somebody a pseudo admin at my work, I do sudo tech a Gpassword, the username, and then sudo, and then I do it again and then I just do ADM at the end. So what's minus a versus capital A? Because I've never seen anybody use capital A.
That's for giving an admin.
But give them
Add a user to a group. Do Gpassword. He uses these commands, guys. These aren't things that. This is what he's telling me. This is the exact command of how he adds users to a group at his job. Lowercase a adds a user to a group. Uppercase A makes an administrator. You have to do sudo every time, right?
Yeah.
Now listen, if you did if you did this command, let's say your password was Chris. Your user account name was Chris. And what was it, ASM?
Yes.
So that's the group name. You do that. From that point on, you don't need to do sudo when you add users, because you're the administrator of the group. You don't need to be root to add users to a group at that point.
Well, we add the users to the group locally on a local account on that machine.
Right, but you have to do sudo first.
Yes, for everything. So sudo Gpassword tag.
Right, but if you add yourself as a group member, you don't need to do the sudo then.
Yeah, but they might be linked to AD, right?
Yeah, it's all. We haven't.
I think that.
Well, no, but even you can't change group membership as a normal user. So this could be a local account, a local group, or a domain group. I don't care. It could be local to that machine or domain. All you're doing is giving this user permission to add users to this group without having to do the sudo command. I don't need to be root to do it. You can use your normal account. So look, so right now, so I'm going to SU as, I'm going to create another user. User add bferris. I'm going to create a user account called bferris.
BK.
So I'm going to SU, I'm going to be signed in as U1. Who is the administrator? Who is the administrator of the sales group? Right. I can't even look at. See, look, I don't even have permission to look at the file. But can I user, G password, lowercase a, bferris, sales.
Now you can ask.
Could you use the group command? To check what groups a user.
I could do that, or I could do the ID. But I was actually trying to look and see who the administrator was. But I can't even look at the file. But yet I was allowed to add it. That's the point of an administrator, to avoid having someone to be root every time they need to do a task. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to add the U2 group to sales and engineers. Now I could do it with user mod. I would need to see what groups U2 is part of. I can see that U2 is part of the text group. I don't think user mod's the way to go. G password, that A, U2, text, no, sales, and engineers.
Can you do it on the same line?
I don't think so.
But you can if you use user mod.
Yeah. But I would have to, but if they're part of 4 groups, I might have to add all 4, so it might be easier just to write 2 lines.
Okay. But in this case, 'cause I did it with the user mod minus A minus capital G.
But yeah, but if you do this method, let's just say I wanted to add ID U2. ID is part of, U2 is part of these 2 groups. Well, he's really not part of this group because I know that's his primary group. Oh, no, he is part of it.
Yeah, text
Okay,
is kind of-
so if I do this, create a group, group add, new group. If I use the user mod command, dash A uppercase G, I have to type sales, text, no,
Sales and engineers.
no, I don't, that's only if I don't use the A. So I want to add them to new group U2, would be the other method. But this is the way I think I would prefer to do it.
Wait, is U2 a part of tax also?
Yes, look, if I do the ID U2, I can see what groups are part of. Am I part of this group? Am I a secondary member of the group called U2? Because remember, if I don't specify a primary group, it creates one for me called U2. So this is not, I'm not really a secondary member of this group, even though it looks like it. It just happens to be my primary group. So it shows me as being a member of the group because it's my primary group. if I cat Etsy group and grep for U2, you can see I'm not a group member of it. It's just my primary group.
This might be a rhetorical question, but around all like sales and whatnot, it says like 1007, 1007, 1001, 1002, 1003. What are those mean?
That's the group ID,
That's everybody? Okay.
which is the third column of Etsy group. First column of Etsy group is the group name. Second column is the password. Third column is the group ID. Fourth column is members that are part of that group. If it's your primary group, you won't be listed here. It's going to be an Etsy password.
You get the primary.
The primary is only going to be an Etsy password. So I'm going to cap you to the user. Add Etsy password. Cat Etsy password grep for U2. Look, here's my user count. Who's my primary group? 1007. That's what it's referring to. Okay. Guys, this is recorded. You can do the same thing using ACE-IT. The thing is, you gotta practice. If you come in here and only see it here, it's not gonna sink in. You've gotta practice. So we're gonna move to the next chapter, which is permissions.
Do we need to save or skip this for anything you did today?
No. So I'm going to do a list long. These are permissions. We have a total of 11 bits there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. The bit is either on or off. It's always 11. And I'm going to go through all those bits. This first one is type. If it's a D, it's a directory. If it's a dash, it's a file. If it's a P, it's a pipe device. An L is a link. A C is a character device. A B is a block device. So it's going to tell you, in a glance, what type of file you're dealing with. Is it a directory or what? Most of the time we see D or dash. D for a directory, dash for a file. Right now we have color coding. So if we see blue, we can see that it's a directory. A lot of times if you're running into a machine, you might not have color coding. So everything will be white. So that will be the only way you can know whether a file is a file or a directory. D. Okay. These are the permission for the user owner. In this case, this file called Grubby, the first one, the user owner is group. The user owner is root. The group owner is root as well. That's root the group, root the user. So we have three types of permissions we can give every entity. Read permission, write permission, or execute. Like a folder, you need to execute a folder to open it. A program, you need execution permission to open a program, to launch a program. So if I turn this bit on, that user has read permission. If I turn this bit on, they have write. When you give someone write permission, what else are you giving them? Delete. That's important to know in later. If I turn this bit on, I am giving that user execution permission for that object, file or directory. The next 3 bits are group owner permissions. Again, read, write, execute. The next one is other. If you're old, we called it world in the back in the day. So if you're looking at an old Linux book or an old Unix book, which probably is sufficient because you know a lot of these commands are old. Now listen, if you're not the user owner or you're not a member of that group, these are the permissions you have. Read, write, execute. Again.
Your other?
If you're not that user, if I'm not root, the user, or I'm not a member of the root group, these are the permissions I have.
Either or everything.
No, either or. If you don't fall here, we'll see if you fall here. If you don't fall here, then you fall here. This is going to be 2 symbols, one of 2 symbols, a dot or a plus sign.
And that is what is that last one called?
Access control list. Basically, Windows, I can give multiple groups permission to a file or folder. In Linux, I wasn't able to do that. When they came out with the 2.4 or 1.4 kernel, they test bedded this. It is a 1.6. Guys, look, the kernels. Let me show you something. Uname -R. There's my kernel. I'm on version 4 of the kernel. This is the major update. This is the minor update. So version 4, 18, and then there's been fixes afterwards. And it tells me what type of kernel it is. Enterprise Linux 8 kernel, x64. There's been some updates, like minor updates, and this is the minor version. If that number is even, it's a production. If the number is odd, it's a development kernel, still in the works. So basically I think it was 2.4, they came out with ACLs as development. It was still kind of in development. You mainly had to turn it on. In 2.6 and later, it was always turned on. It allowed you the ability to use like Windows type groups. So instead of having one group owner, I could apply a bunch of groups. But this was just an indication. Are ACLs being used? If it's a dot, no. If there's a plus, that means you have to run additional commands to see those permissions. Okay, so this is just an indicator if there's any ACL set. If they are set, you have to run additional commands to see them. So guys, I'm going to ignore this right here, the type in the ACLs for right now. User permission. Okay, guys, before we start this, we want to take our second break. This is where it gets confusing. Let's take a break before we do this. Make it a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and do this. What time does this class end?
11:45.
Okay, yeah. To do it now, that'll give us an hour.
What you say?
This is making this thing make way more sense now.
Yeah.
Now that you broke it down,
Yeah, it's going to,
start not making sense again?
Right, the 10 points.
this has two meanings.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Because I know, see, now we have 12 instead of 11.
Well, these 9
Yeah, they're the same.
are these,
Yeah.
this is here, this is here, this is here. So I can see two things from looking at that one bit.
So the special executive, if what's the groups that, because users on the left, groups in the middle, and the other is on the right, so.
This is set user ID, set group ID, sticky bit. So there's 3 additional bits here.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay.
I was like, I get it. Oh, man.
Over that shit.
Oh.
It's like understanding women. Thought I had it and then just throw this out.
All you have to do is keep like that.
That's not the case.
Oh, it's
Answer the question, you get it wrong, read about it, write it
Yeah,
down.
like right now, my girlfriend's like,
Write down the
she wants me to get a
definition.
breakfast sandwich after I get a class and a coffee. So she's
I
not.
don't know, I might pay for it.
Where?
Well,
I'm the, right across the street.
You already went over there, ask for coaches of 3 plus.
I'm amazing coffee, and a really great sandwich in one place. And it's not crappy coffee like Dunkin'. It's water coffee. I've been married
The gratis exam
almost
show
14
you,
years now.
show you the
Most of the time,
simulations.
they just eat it. My wife is really very upset. I'm like, what did you eat today? She's like, oh, I didn't really have time to go. I'm like, let's get you something to eat. As soon as I get home from work, she's probably been doing it. I'm like, oh, babe. This is my school class.
Hold on a second. What's up? Yeah, I was married for 7 years, but I was in the military for a while, and my ex-wife left me alone for my son, and then I didn't want to get remarried again, so I started dating. I've been with friends now for 7 years, but we're off to separate. Just because we love trying to get along, so trying to go separate ways for a little bit.
Oh, sticky thing. Did you just say sticky?
What is this?
No, you're saying sticky. That's what you just said, yeah. Sticky bit. We're gonna be going over that in just a minute.
It's difficult to be very useful in the sheriff department. That trade is, you only assign the sticky bit by is this later information.
Good to know. So that means even if you give someone write ability, if they're not the file owner, if there's a sticky one in there, maybe they can't delete.
It looks like it. Set the sticky bit on virtual name directory on you and issue the command change mod plus XE directory one.
Yeah, because I get this, setting this all up in the background, but when you don't have it to run through some kind of graphics, is when I could get all this, but then I could see it translate into like a Windows setting where this person can't access this file. But say I'm user one and everything's like this, if you're trying to access the file, like how do you even see it properly? That's why I don't understand if this doesn't have like a graphics built in. How do you see all the stuff you're supposed to do with it? That's the part that doesn't like compute with me.
entering home more that's Linux based, as Linux is installed on it, I'm gonna start an office.
Yeah, well, you don't need to do that, the
Yeah.
ACE allow.
I use that, it's just that requires internet and that requires,
What is part of that?
yeah, you can't be on ACE unless you have internet. So if I'm somewhere where I don't have internet, I can bring just a laptop.
I like that, I bought my wife a Chromebook for Christmas, and it's got Linux built.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, that's all you use to know that it's like your Chromebook Linux. Just go to the little windows like Penguin in settings, and it just pulls up command bar like this for Linux.
Because Linux is free, and I
Yeah.
use my work, we use Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu 1604. This is the one we use.
Is it once you download it, you don't need to have
Yep. You mean any internet to run it once you download it, you just download it and you put the disk in, and then you ask them, do you want to try Windows, or do you want to try Ubuntu, or do you want to install it? If you're not going to install it, you just want to play with it and do what you're doing now, just try it. So you just put the disk in after you put the ISO into the disk, and then you just try it.
You could do this just so you have a driver.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, like when I say this, I mean, this is the concept. This, you know.
Guys, this is chapter 6 in book 1. And this part is the permissions chapter in book 2. I'm going to do them both at the same time. We're not going to get done with this chapter today.
You could close down the Linux.
No, we're going to
Okay.
Still waiting for people to get on. When I refer to a bit, what am I referring to?
1 or 0.
1 or 0. A bit can be either on or off. So each of these fields is 3 bits. So if I have 2 to the 3, I could have 8 possible values. All 3 bits, this is the read bit, this is the write bit, this is the execute bit. They can all be off. I can turn 1 on, 2 on, 3 on, 4 on, 5 on, 6 on, or 7 on. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 possible values. This has a power of 2 to the 0. What is that value? 2 to the 1 has a value of 2. 2 to the 2 has a value of 3. So basically, if I want to turn on this bit and this bit, that's going to be 2 to the 2, which is 4, and 1. Because this has a value of
2 to the 2 is a 4.
Yeah.
I was testing it.
So it's like, wait,
I mean, this college built me math too.
Okay, so this has a value of 4, 2, then 1. If this bit's turned on, add 1. If this is on, add 4. So this would be 4.
5.
What if I wanted to turn this on and this on? What would this be?
4.
Sorry.
Actually 5 on the left.
5, 4, and what would this be?
4.
so 13 bits.
No, 5, 4, 4. I'll explain that. So what if I wanted this? Read, write, execute. Read, write, read.
7, 6, 4.
4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1, 7. 4 plus 2,
6 and then 4.
and then 4. So if you want to change the permissions for a file, I'm going to go to my machine, and where am I at in my home directory?
group.
Okay, so I'm gonna touch new file .txt, create a blank file. Okay, I want to give, some people are still writing. I want to give people a minute to finish writing if they need, and then look at the commands.
Yeah, but, because I need to do C. I thought I did.
Guys, look, this is 0, all bits are off. 1, the 1 bit is on. 2, the 2 bit is on. 3, the 2 and the 1 bit is on. 4, the 4 bit is on. 5, 5 and 1 is on. 6, 4 and 2 is on. 7, 4, 2 and 1 is on. So I just set the permissions with the change mod command. You don't say chmod, it's change mod. 7, I turned on all 3 bits from the user owner. 5, I turned read and execute for the group owner. 4, I turned on read for everyone else. So for the user owner, they'll have read, write, execute. Their group owner will have read, write, and everyone else will have read only to the file. What if I wanted to set the permissions to be, what did I do with that? User has full control, the group owner and everyone else has nothing.
700.
$700 new file, list, long new file.
Forgetting I can't use one of the over here.
Oh, because it's Kernel doesn't like it.
No, it does not.
I should like it. Okay. User owner, read, write, execute. The group owner, nothing. Everyone else, nothing.
No, it's different. I haven't done this 700.
Yeah, if you're on the 700, it looked different.
We call this method octal because of the 8. We call it octal. Octal. I could have done this method. Change mod, user equal read, write, execute, comma, group equal nothing, comma, other equal nothing. To get the same effect.
Oh, I like that.
What's the O other, man?
Change mod G plus W. What is this doing? I added right to the current permission. Whatever was currently there, I just added right. So for the group owner, I added right. What would this do?
Remove right.
Remove right.
Oh, plus and minus.
What if I did this? Plus RX
Add, write, and execute
to who?
Everything?
to everyone.
Right. Correct. If I don't specify user, group, or other, and I just leave it blank, it will add those permissions to everyone. The user owner, the group owner, and everyone else.
But the other doesn't have right or read.
User owner, read, write, execute, because I already had write turned on. Group, read, execute, because I added read, execute. Other, read, execute. I could have done this mod A plus and got the same effect. What does A stand for? All. So if I use this alpha system, I have the ability to specify the user, group, or other, and I could either assign, add, or subtract. I also can do that for all. If I want to use the A, use the A. If you leave it blank, it assumes the A. So user, group, or other, all. If I want to assign a permission, I can say G equals read, write, execute. Or if I just want to add a permission, an entity, user, group, or other. A lot of times, guys, if you're following some script on the internet, how to install something, you might see this quite often. Change mod plus execute, then the file that you've downloaded. What do you think they're doing? When you download a file off the internet and you need to execute it, like you're downloading some install file off the internet, the instructions are going to be turn on the execution bit so you can actually execute it. You know, so you'll see this instructions a lot because it's turning on execution for all entities, the user owner, the group owner, and other. I'm hesitant to go on to the next thing because right now I don't know if you guys, the looks on your face, I'm not reaching most of you. How many people am I not reaching?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Juan, you're the only brave one because trust me, you're not alone. Okay, let me ask you this. Is everyone comfortable with binary?
Yes.
Or ones and zeros?
Yeah, okay. So, what does, let me go back more basic. What do you think read permissions grant a user?
To read files.
Files, read folders.
Right.
To look.
To be able to look at the content of a file.
To look but not touch.
What does write do?
You can touch.
Modify the.
I can open up with VI, make changes to it. Execute it means, right. So let me, I'm going to do change mod. So I'm going to create echo Brian. I'm going to put that in a script called my script. List long my script. Guys, for right now, assume that's the default permissions for a new file or folder. It's not, but just to go with it. So I created this script and I want to execute it. It's in my current directory. I cannot execute that script. So if I want to make it executable for everyone, change mod plus X my script. Now, it'll allow me to, guys, I have a problem in there. Don't worry about it. I executed the script is written for me. I meant to put this in quotes. That's fine. So until it's executable, I can't actually run the script. Or if it was a binary executable program, I couldn't run it.
This is just me because I do something at work and I want to make sure I understand. Sudo, whenever I need to make a file, a Python file, or any file executable so I can run like a script or an image, I do sudo change mod ugo plus x space asterisk.
Just plus X. You don't need to put the UGO.
What does ugo do then?
Okay, what he's doing is,
Sorry to confuse.
okay, no. So look, I could do plus X to make it executable. Or I could do all plus X. That will make it executable. Or I could do change mod U plus X, comma, G plus X, comma,
Specify.
O plus X. Or I could do UGO plus X.
So ugo is user groups and not others. That's what, okay, now I know what it means.
I could,
Groups are over there.
Yeah, learning new things, crazy, mind blown.
okay, so what would this do? User group, read, write, execute, O equal read.
So the users and groups are read to access to do anything, but others can only do read, but not write or execute.
Or you can specify what you want.
Okay. We're gonna end right now.
I understand it. I understand something.
Listen, I want you, listen, guys, the book is written very well. This is chapter 7. We're in chapter 7.
Did you record that?
Actually,
He was right. He was right about that, right? The UG, the RN.
Yeah, he was right,
But
but he didn't know what he was doing.
so what, when I run.
He was just following instructions, not understanding what's happening.
So when I run the script, I do change mod ugo plus x space asterisk. What is the space in the asterisk at the end here?
That's the file, that's, you're trying to turn execution bit on for all the files in your current directory.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, the book is written relatively well, chapter 7. Read that before you come to class again. Okay, and then we'll do this over. Okay?
Yes. Yay.
Okay.
Again next Saturday after that?
I'm gonna stop